today's episode is titled Spilling the Secrets, Mastering Planning and Productivity. Particularly relevant topic as we are approaching assessment and exams, and we in fact have some exams going on today. So I'm delighted to introduce our guest, Burch. Not only a successful entrepreneur at such a young age, but also got your own YouTube channel, and where you share insights, productivity, personal development and growth. And your recent video, How to Productively Balance Business and Education, offers real valuable insights for those juggling multiple commitments. So what we mean by multiple commitments, you could have a part-time job, about to sit exams, you've got assessment work coming up, a whole host of things. So really insightful on how to get that balance just right. So additionally, I'm going to give you a big round of applause now.
Thank you.
So Dylan, you secured bronze in the Enterprise at the Wales Skills Awards held in Swansea last week. Congratulations and welcome.
Thanks.
So I'm just going to kick off and just really say, earning a bronze medal, that's huge. That's absolutely massive. Prestigious competition and a huge achievement. So could you share with the listener what your business is all about and what inspired you to start it?
So my entire business is helping unproductive people turn productive. And that is the entire business. So I have a whole host of product ranges. I do one-to-one coaching. I have productivity packages, and most in particular that sells the best, I have a planner. And this planner seems basic from a bird's eye view. However, the internal structure of the planner is based on the mechanisms of the brain. So the list of the to-do list and how long it is, the priorities box and the size of that, the productivity rating system, so you can have this analytical data to refer to, and the gratitude section based on the serotonin release and catch mechanism that you find in the brain. They're all dialed in to make you more productive and make sure you get the task that you set yourself done. So that's the brand.
So, what inspired you to start it? Were you in that place where you needed that sort of structure and get that balance across your life?
The thing is, a lot of people listening, if they've ever seen my YouTube channel, at the start of the YouTube channel, every single video I say, hello, I'm Dylan, I'm 18. I coach unproductive people to turn productive using tactical techniques and strategies. I personally changed my life from 5,000 hours or 210 days straight playing Call of Duty and other such video games. And I was generally, one would say addicted. I would say just wasting time, just wasting my life away, kind of coping through school. GCSEs went well, I got decent grades, but I knew I had so much more potential to do. I could have done better, and it ate me up. It, like all of that summer when I saw the grades come through, and it was good. It was good enough to get into college and do what I wanted, but it wasn't like, it didn't excite me to see that paper open up, and that slight disappointment cascaded me onto a bit of a self-improvement journey. But productivity in particular, I've gone through hundreds of tactics for productivity. You've got the Pomodoro technique, you've got like eating the frog, all of these different tactics that people suggest and prescribe to you. And I came to planning, and I call it chronological intensity planning, as the most important productivity tactic to me, because I say it all the time, half of the battle of being productive is knowing what to do. Because if you don't have tasks to be productive in, how are you supposed to be productive? So it's this idea of eliminating pseudo productivity and feeling productive when you're not doing something, and instilling this actual productivity by setting yourself a list of things you need to get done and completing them during the day.
So your typical day, do you plan the night before?
Yes.
The next
day?
So
this is the most important part. So there's something, I'm not sure if you're familiar with decision fatigue. You ever heard of that? So every single time you make a decision during the day, if you imagine you have 100 brain points per day, and planning your day takes 15 brain points, choosing your clothes takes 5, picking breakfast you want to pick is 5, etc., etc. The amount of brain points you can remove and save in that day by doing the stuff the night before is really effective. So I plan all of my day, set out all my clothes for the next day, everything that I can possibly plan, I do it the night before to save myself the hassle the next day. You're doing it for the 24-hour you, as the saying goes. So I plan the day the night before, make sure I've got everything I need to do. My schedule looks quite similar every single day. I record a video, I edit a video, I make a thumbnail, I optimize the video, post the video, and then I've got a bit more miscellaneous, boring stuff as well.
And so I suppose it goes back to perhaps taking an hour of your day to make you more productive
Yeah.
for the next.
Yeah.
So, like you just said, you know, you spend that time writing down your lists, what you've got to do, setting out your clothes. You might have to, you know, I'm looking and I'm thinking here, maybe even staff, students, all walks of life, let your clothes, right, I know that I've made my sandwiches, so that's sorted tomorrow. I don't have to be in work and spend that time thinking, what am I going to, or I could do it living at home, you know, and having a family.
Yeah.
Probably a prime one for me is me sitting at 4 o'clock, racking my brain, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? You know, typical things like that. So, starting a business while pursuing your studies, was it challenging? And has your A-level course supported that journey?
So I think it was challenging. I think it's easier than people presume, like, because you put off these tasks, they seem really big in your brain. As soon as you kind of break through this procrastination with planning, with the other tactical techniques I preach on my channel all the time, as soon as you break through and you just get that one task done, it's almost like, you know, those coin machines where you finally push that tower of coins and then all of them cascade and fall and you get the reward. It's the exact same thing. Like, as soon as I personally set up the website for the brand, I set up the website for the planners, as soon as that was sorted, the rest was just super easy. So it's just getting that massive task out of the way, and then the rest is quite smooth sailing then. But business studies has seriously helped me. Super useful. The stuff we're learning is like applicable directly to me. Like, one lesson we'll learn about supply and demand, and like the supply and demand correlation, and how if supply goes up, demand must go up, etc., etc. And you can correlate this to the actual business you're doing with how many books you need to get from the supplier, what the conversion rate is from the views you're getting on a YouTube channel. So it's all relevant, useful information for me and my business.
So you just touched upon Karen, one of our lecturers here. Was it just Karen, or were there others, you know, did they have an influence on you at all to start the business? Or was it something you were starting but they've helped nurture it and helped you perhaps your mindset to think, oh, I never thought of that?
Based on the college alone, or?
Yeah, based on what you've learned here.
So I'm personally a little bit more introverted when I speak about business. I have this saying, loose lips sink ships. The more you speak about something, the more your brain convinces itself it's already done. Because if I tell you about my goals, this year I'm going to sell like a million planners, etc., etc., your brain releases serotonin, dopamine, the hormones that make you feel good, because it can't tell the difference between reality and the dream in your brain. So the more you speak about something, the less it happens, because your brain convinces itself it's complete. So I've always kept it under wraps. Like, Karen didn't even know about the YouTube channel, the business, until it was all released. So, but she's always been so supportive. I think out of all the lecturers I have, a lot of them, I'm not as close with Karen. Me and Karen get on really well, and she's just so wise when it comes to business. She's so knowledgeable, and it's funny because a lot of the internet presumes these business studies teachers, they haven't even got business themselves. Karen is a real entrepreneur. She's teaching business because she's had businesses, and she's got properties. She's like really intelligent when it comes to business. So learning from her has been very useful.
So we'll move slightly. You achieved recognition
the
other day at the Wales Skills Awards. But I'm sure there's others coming through the ranks, or more so, those learners about to come here next year, and they've perhaps got that in their brain that they would like to do something. They've perhaps got that drive like you have, but perhaps just need a little bit advice. So what advice would you give any aspiring learners, either those in the college now who think, I really like this and I'd like to turn this into a long-term plan, into a business, or those coming fresh from school and they want to do a business course because I don't really quite know what I'm going to do, but this is the area I want to go down?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this, and I think the number one piece of advice I'd give to anyone trying to get into entrepreneurship is the ability to work without reward. Because the kind of path of entrepreneurship is you get a little win and that hooks you on, and then you kind of drop down into this valley of despair where you're not getting any progress. It feels like nothing's pushing the needle and you feel like a failure. And then over just consistent, disciplined effort, you slowly climb up and then you reach the success that you desire. So it's getting through that long, dark path where you feel like nothing's moving, you're not selling anything, everything's slow, everything's boring, nothing is moving or flowing. Getting through that path just by consistent sheer grit is the number one piece of advice I give. Like, you've got to be able to work without getting anything. See, some of the business I've done in the past, I used to trade the foreign exchange, I still do to this day, but for 1.5 years I made £0. £0 for 1.5 years. And the ability to sit at the desk every single day for an hour and a half and trade the markets, irregardless of the result, you've made no money, you have no kind of tangible faith in the business apart from faith in yourself. That is an ability that needs to be cultivated for entrepreneurship.
So you said to me when we chatted about 2 weeks ago that your planner, that someone, even approached you, was it at the World Skills or and they purchased your planner off you?
So I had a lot of sales on the planner. In the World Skills, one of the judges, she really liked it. She bought 4 of them for her team. Another one's bought another one. And I've just been selling them all across every single category of business you could think, to be fair. So there's been teachers buying them, there's been business owners buying them. There's one gentleman that I'm working with at the moment to get 50 curated with him as a collaboration project so he can add them to his client collection. So it's going very well.
That's amazing. So if we have learn this year, like I said, we've got assessments and exams starting. They don't necessarily want to be an entrepreneur, but heck, I think I need just to get a little bit more organised here in how I'm going to do this. And I think perhaps, having something to write down. I always like a list myself. I love a list. That's my book here. Can I put some links up with the podcast just so people can look and get in touch, and the links to your YouTube channel as well, because some of the videos you've got on there are just truly inspirational.
Yeah, posting my 100th video today.
100th? Oh, congratulations. So if we think about your journey as a whole, from your days of sitting on your bed playing Call of Duty endlessly to thinking I need to get a little bit of a grip on life here and pull some things together. And the planner and your aspirations now of where this will lead you once you finish college here and your next steps. Who would you say has been your biggest inspiration on your journey?
Biggest inspiration. See, I follow a lot of people online who are kind of in the same business category as me. So they're helping other people improve their lives and then monetizing it through the products they've made too, which is a really nice business model. So I guess the people that inspire me in that category, you've got Ali Abdal. He's got like 6 million followers on YouTube, seriously useful productivity advice. But in terms of general business, I'd like to say my dad. He's a righteous businessman in himself. He's done incredibly well for himself in his category of business, and he's just consumed so much information. He reads a book a week for forever. I don't even know when he's not read a book, and he's just constantly consuming information, audiobooks in the car, podcasts, and just insanely knowledgeable in business. So any single problem I ever have, he has the exact answer to a T, the exact answer, and he knows the actionable step for me to take.
But you just mentioned your dad there, and I'm talking to you as a 44-year-old woman. We're constantly learning, even as adults. So where your dad listens to podcasts, read books, that's again is an element of learning. And I think perhaps in life we are constantly evolving and learning to get that one step better.
I think that's how you reach a happy life. You need to have this student mindset, because once you think you know it all, then you'll get slapped in the face by life and you'll end up figuring out you need to learn more about yourself and you need to learn more about the world or business or whatever you're doing. So rather than waiting for life to come and slap you, I just see it as I've just got to constantly learn, even if it's not directly correlated to my position right now. I know this gem of information will come back to me in the future, and I know how to do that, or this is what I need to do in that situation, because I've consumed the information already. So
we keep this one short and sweet, and I'd love to do others with you again. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Huge congrats. I'm very disappointed you haven't bought that medal with you. Your story is testament to the impact of what passion, education, and support, having good support around you in shaping you, and and I hope your story inspires future little business leaders coming through that want to do similar to what you've done. So as a college, we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
In your journey. And we will keep our eyes peeled at what things come your way.
Things are looking good.
Yes. So to our listeners, until next time, just keep aspiring, keep achieving, and we'll pop up some links to Dylan's planner and some of his YouTube channels as well. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.